So in this video, I'll be talking about why, um, what should have happened after WrestleMania 39? No, 40, right? It was 40 this year, with the big three. I was gonna do some separate rants. I might, but I'm just gonna do this first, and I'll see if I'll do the other ones later. I feel like with the big three, after the tag team match at WrestleMania against Damage Control, I feel like they should have gone their separate ways. Hear me out. 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 Please hear me out before y'all start in the comments. I personally, and I don't know if it's just me, but I'm just gonna clear the air and say that I personally didn't want Bianca and Jade Cargill to become a tag team. At least not right now. Maybe years later down the line, but I didn't want them to become a tag team a tag team, let alone tag team champions, like right away. I didn't want that at all. Respectfully, I did not. I don't see the point of it. I don't see why it's needed. I just don't, personally. And I love seeing black women win, but I don't, okay? What I feel like should have happened is that after WrestleMania, they could have did a split, right? And before y'all start, I think it was Asuka or Kyrie who took the pin at WrestleMania. Well, they pinned the tag team champion, so that's why they got the shot. Okay, so this is what should have happened. Dakota Kai, who wasn't a champion, she should have took the pin. Dakota takes the pin, Jay pins her. That's the end of it. After that, there's a draft. And in the draft, Naomi stays on SmackDown. Bianca goes to Raw. Jade Cargill gets drafted to NXT because I do remember them putting NXT in a draft. Draft some people to NXT. Jade Cargill being drafted to NXT makes 100% sense, okay? I get Jade Cargill when she was first signed. It was quite literally breaking the internet. But after WrestleMania, it was just like, okay, she's here. We saw her in action, we saw her at the Rumble, we saw her at WrestleMania, so what's next for her? And they put her on SmackDown as official signee. I feel like they should have just kept her a free agent and then they could have officially put her on NXT. Why? I feel like Jade Cargill being in NXT would have benefited her because I feel like I don't think she's the worst wrestler in ring, but I do feel like she could still use the improvement. And I don't see the point of her them putting her in a tag team with Bianca Belair to be like, okay, well, we're gonna put you in a tag team with Bianca Belair so you can improve faster because we want you on the main roster. Why not just put her in your developmental brand? It makes sense. And Jade being in NXT, it wouldn't hurt her credibility as a wrestler. Quite literally, it would benefit her. It would benefit her so much more as an in-ring wrestler because she's improving. She gets to mix it up in the ring with different types of women, with different types of wrestling styles and personalities, whether it be a promo, a match, a tag team match, you name it. She would quite literally benefit being in NXT. Whether people want to admit it or not, she would. I feel like they should have just put her in NXT, Bianca Belair on Raw, Naomi on SmackDown, so they all could have their own solo career runs. Everybody wanted the big three to be like a toxic attraction thing. I don't want that. I pray that doesn't happen. I do not want that. I don't. I really don't. I'm so sick of the whole dominant stable coming in and just one of us holds the women's championship. The other, I'm sick of that. I am so tired of that. Y'all have no idea. We already got Damage Control. We already had that. No, we don't need. We don't do it. We don't need it. Okay. And I love Naomi. I love Bianca. And I love Jade. But I just feel like this would have been the best decision for their career or careers, I should say. Bianca on Raw would have made sense. Jada NXT would have made sense. Naomi staying on SmackDown, that would have made sense. It would have made sense. That's what should have happened. I just feel like that would have made more sense. That would have been the better option. That would have been the better decision. Now you're asking, well, who could have dethroned Asuka and Kairi Sane? I don't know. Okay, I have to look and see who's the tag team champions or in the tag team division at the time, and we'll figure that out. But personally, as far as just the careers go for Naomi, Jade, and Bianca, I just feel like it should have just been a draft where all three of them went their separate ways. I feel like that. And also because of just representation as well. Especially on the main roster, because I most of the black girls are on SmackDown. Kaden Carter is the only black girl. Kaden Carter, Kiana James, and Natalya are the only black girls on Raw. And by the way, Kiana James should have stayed in NXT. I'm gonna do a video on why she should have, but like Bianca being on NXT, I mean on Raw, that would have helped with representation, and she's a big star already. That would have helped tremendously with marketing and say that would have been amazing. Naomi, Michin on SmackDown, and then Jade, Lash, Jakar, like it makes sense. It makes sense. Like I just feel like they should have just did that. Jade would have benefited. She would have been able to improve in the developmental brand, and she's already like she was still kind of, I guess, like people were. I won't say trending, but it was still kind of hot, if that makes sense. Like, as far as like, the trending topics of the week, NXT, that could have helped with getting them like viewership, you know what I mean? And Jay's improving. Like, it's a win-win for everybody. That's what they should have did. That's what they should have did. That's what I feel. That's what I believe. And yeah.